Thanks for joining us for Turn the Page with Paige, brought to you by Southwestern Illinois College. I'm your host, Paige Hulsey. Spring is finally here, and I cannot think of a better set of new releases to celebrate that than by sharing these books that we get to highlight today. They are from one of my all-time favorite authors, Chelsea Tornetto. Seasons on the Farm gives young readers a look at what spring, summer, fall, and winter each look like on the family farm, from adorable baby animals to rumbling tractors and pumpkins and pies. But wait, there's more. Also by Chelsea, and also new this spring, Chalk the Walk. A pair of siblings explore the incredible power of a piece of chalk as they transform the world around them. We are so fortunate to have author Chelsea Tornetto with us today. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thanks for having me again.
And congratulations on 2 new releases at the same time. That's a lot to take on.
It is. It's very stressful, but it's a good stressful problem to have.
Okay, so the most unfair question that you will be asked, pick which one your favorite is. Okay, I won't make you do that.
You want to maybe pick my favorite child.
I was going to say, that is exactly like picking a new child. It's not fair at all, okay? But I'm really excited about both of these, and we're really embracing the spring theme today, even though we get to experience all the seasons on the farm. So let's start with Seasons on the Farm. Tell me where the idea for this book came from.
So I grew up in farm families on both sides. My dad's family are hog farmers, Cedar Ridge Farms, right across the river in Illinois. And on my mom's side, my grandpa and my uncle are both grain farmers. And so my whole childhood was on family farms. And I just felt like it's something that not everyone gets to experience. And it's a great way to kind of highlight that rural lifestyle. So
I'm imagining that they had to feel a sense of pride, that they obviously gave you such great memories of the family farm that you would want to return to that to write this book.
Absolutely. I dedicated it to my parents and grandparents and to family farms everywhere. But it's also funny because they're also the biggest critics. So when you show them the sketches, they're like, that's not actually what that type of tractor looks like. So, you know, they're very critical, but that was good. They helped me keep it accurate. So
you worked with the illustrator to kind of hide in, or maybe highlight some memories too, really sweet. How did you do that?
Yeah, so the illustrator is actually from the United Kingdom, so she wasn't familiar with a lot of like American farming stuff. So I sent her lots of pictures, lots of notes, and then I also requested some little Easter eggs. So there's one page where their truck has its license plate shown and it says CDR Farm in honor of Cedar Ridge Farms for my dad's farm, and just some other little details. He wears a green hat, that's the color of the farm, and so.
Did your dad know that, or did you wait to see his reaction the first time?
I don't think I really told him about it, and also because you don't really know until the illustrations come back to you whether they took that note or not. But yeah, he was super excited about it.
That's really, really sweet. So whether it's a child who maybe lives on the farm and they're really excited to see their lifestyle represented, or maybe it's a child who's just learning about farm life, what do you hope that they walk away from this book knowing or feeling?
Basically an appreciation of the fact that it's a way to make a living, not just some nostalgic idea that we see, you know, in a lot of children's books. It's just Old MacDonald and animal noises and things like that, which is great, but I really wanted to show the real life side of farming. The back matter, there's 2 pages at the back that are all about phenology, which is also great. It's a science term for using the signs of the seasons basically to grow plants. And so that's another really big thing.
So it's a sweet story, but it's also very educational. I mean, you could incorporate this into a classroom.
Yes, we made sure that it tied into all that curricular stuff. So,
well, both Seasons on the Farm and Chalk the Walk are written by Rhyme. And I have to tell you, if you've not read Chelsea's book, you have to, because they are fun to read aloud. I mean, children's books are designed to be read aloud, but my goodness, you do it so well. I'm in awe every time.
Thank you.
So I have to ask, is this like a challenge, or does it just come naturally to you?
Probably a little bit of both. I mean, you don't really want to write in rhyme unless it comes a little bit naturally, because it is so hard to do. So I do kind of feel like my brain naturally writes in sort of that rhythm and that cadence, but it's very hard to do. It's very much like a crossword puzzle, trying to solve it all, you know, and get the perfect word in each spot. So it's really fun for me. So.
Well, you do it very well. That's the key word. A lot of people can do it, but you do it really well. Let's talk about Chalk the Walk, which is the perfect spring book. When I think chalk, it's like spring is on, right?
Yep.
Where did the idea for this book come from?
So the idea actually started during COVID, if you want to go way back that far. That's about how long it takes for a picture book to come out. But COVID, there was this trend of when everybody was kind of in isolation in their homes, of kind of writing positive chalk messages on the sidewalks out in front of people's houses because we couldn't talk in person. And I thought that was really sweet. And so kind of started there and then grew into all the other creative ways that you can use sidewalk chalk. So
yeah, the book doesn't specifically talk about COVID.
No, not at all.
But it does, I think it reminds me, because it starts in almost like a grayscale, that sometimes people are having gray days, even if there is no pandemic. You know, just life sometimes feels a little down. Sometimes neighborhoods do feel a little more closed than they used to. But I love the way that this book, from, you know, a visual standpoint, transitions from the gray to just vibrant and color. How did you and the illustrator develop that concept?
Yeah, so the text is where it started, obviously. When you're rhyming, certain lines just come to you. And so the first part is about, you know, the concrete being a canvas and being blank and empty. And so I thought it would be really cool if the illustrations kind of mirrored that, and suggested it to the illustrator and the publisher, and they liked the idea and decided to go with it. So we did a couple rounds of edits on illustrations and ways to make it look, you know, you want it to start off gray to match the story, but you also don't want to turn off the reader when you open it up. So ways to kind of get in the middle there.
Well, I think you found the perfect balance. It's great. This would be a great springtime edition. And again, these are both just now out. But before Chelsea goes, okay, if you've not heard me rave about this book, this is also by Chelsea. Gardens Are for Growing. Top 3, but like I'm confident in saying, like, this could be my all-time favorite children's book. Like, I love it so much. I'm not even kidding you. We read it all the time at my house. So for our viewers who aren't familiar with Gardens Are for Growing, tell them about this.
So Gardens Are for Growing was my very first picture book. It is based on, my husband and I are both teachers, and so we have all summer in the backyard, and we have a garden, and our kids had the joy of growing up in the backyard garden. So that's supposed to be my oldest, Tessa, who is now 15, going on 30. And it just sort of mirrors, like, the plants start off as seedlings, just like kids do, and then they all kind of grow up together, and it's...
Yeah, my son reads it, but when I read it, like, I cry. But, like, in a happy, beautiful way.
I have made multiple moms cry reading that book.
It's really special. Obviously, just one example. I believe one of the other fantastic books I know that you've worked on, God Made You Too, is really sweet and special.
This is my second one. It was my first Christian children's book. Amazing illustrator, Kimberly Barnes. Yeah. Beautiful colors.
Yes.
So yeah, very excited about that one too.
Okay, so as if this isn't enough, what else are you working on?
I have my 5th picture book coming out September, I don't know the date, September 2025, and it is another Christian book, and it's called The World's Best Christmas Light, and it is sort of about, I always loved driving around looking at Christmas lights when I was a kid. That's like our favorite tradition, but wanted to put a Christian spin on it for the Christian market, and so they end up at a nativity scene, and it's really cool because the publisher decided to put a little light in the back, so there's a little button and the nativity lights up at the end. So
can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it'll be cute.
Okay, Chelsea, you've created so many beautiful books, both in the words and the pictures, but you've also read a ton of books. I mean, you're a mom, a book coach, a former teacher, so you've read enough. What's your recommendation for a children's book from another author?
So this is a really hard question because I do have tons of books that I read. So I worked on a project, I do freelance editing, and I worked on a project for a client who, it's called Bow the Boat.
Bow the Boat.
And it is a board book, and it's Lift the Flap, and Claire, the author, is a speech and language pathologist. And so she wanted to develop a book that was custom made to help kids' speech skills. With everything from sounding out the words to like talking back to the characters, like "Hi Mo" and all those little skills that kids need to learn, and it's adorable. So really excited about that.
Okay, well, if she recommends it, it must be good.
It is, I promise.
Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on 2 more fantastic books.
Thank
so glad
you
you
so
could
much.
be here. And so glad that you were here too. Thanks for sharing some time with us today. We hope to see you again soon for the next episode of Turn the Page with Paige.